Hello, and welcome to Mega Man 5 race between Kaiserkrister and ScarfWynaut. I'm Brett Suzo, and I have Papot.1 with me here. Want to say hi?
Hey, how's it going?
Papot.1. All acceptable, according to you?
Yeah, it's all acceptable there. Looking forward to watching this race. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I think, just for now, for a little bit of background on these runners, Kaiserkrister's been running this game for about 5 years, I think, somewhere in that range. And Scarf picked up this game for the tournament, but they have pretty similar PBs at this point, so I think it should be a pretty good race. Kind of have the wily veteran versus the up and coming newcomer, you know.
Yep, yeah. Both doing really well overall recently, from what I can tell. I know Chrissy's been working on a lot of the classic series, getting ready for like did a 1 to 11 recently. So very experienced with Mega Man games in general. And Scarf, I believe, has been doing some of the other Mega Mans. If I remember, if I can find the info here. Yeah, both very good runners. Looking forward to seeing how they do.
Definitely. I think looks like the runners maybe need to warm up a little bit, sort out some of the race details, but should be going pretty soon here in the next few minutes or so. See Fast in chat there talking about Scarf's 11 speedruns a little bit there. Yeah, he has a pretty good time in 11, and then I think when this tournament started a few weeks ago, Mega Man 5, his PB was like in the 42 or 43 range, and now he has like a 37 4x, something like that, so definitely lowering his time very quickly here, and I think has a pretty big PV available if he gets a clean run. And I think Chrissy's right around a 37 flat. Ooh, I don't remember for sure, but somewhere around there.
Chrissy, I had this pulled up a second ago. Yeah, it's 36.54, so just under 37.
All right, so a little under a minute between their PBs. Yeah, that should be up to date, I'm pretty sure. I was watching him on his latest grind, so it was around there. All right, looks like they are ready, and the race will be starting shortly. How do you want to do this, Papa? Do you want to jump in and start talking about the game, or do you want me to do it?
I can start talking about stuff when it gets started.
Yeah, you go ahead. You're the expert.
Alright, so we're gonna, as soon as it's okay. So we're gonna be heading into Star first. The Starman stage is fairly interesting in that it's, as a first stage, you get kind of a little bit awkward physics with just kind of low gravity. It's kind of like being underwater, except slightly different. You can still jump out of your slides. So you kind of have to manage all of your movement just the right way, and then with Mega Man 5, you have to manage it even a little bit more precisely with like how you're managing your charge shot times, because you can't charge while sliding. You can only charge while walking or jumping. So you're trying to make sure that you move in the right way so that you can kill all the enemies on screen with charge shots as much as you can. Charge shot being extremely good in this game.
Yeah, the Charge Buster does, I think, 3 damage to everything in the game.
Yep, and if it kills an enemy, it pierces it.
Right.
So you can get chains of kills of a ton of enemies on screen all together.
Yeah, and it's just giant hitbox too. It's like a Mega Man sized hitbox.
Yeah. So coming up to Starman himself here. The Starman fight, it's not too difficult of a Buster fight. There is some randomness involving like where he fires his Star Crash from, but you can shoot the charge shot directly through his shield as long as you're close enough. Like it's a barrier, but if you shoot inside the barrier, it still hits him.
It's kind of a common theme in this game. You can bypass a lot of shielded enemies, like shielded turrets and things, using a similar approach. All right, so they're both through, and no jittery nerves Starman death, so that's nice.
Yeah, always nice there. And Starman is like this route is very established. Like there's not going to be any changes to this route for forever. The super arrow that you get from Starman is just so good as both a horizontal and vertical weapon that it's just not worth even looking at another route first. Like Wave is very slow without arrow, and like you wouldn't want to do any of the other stage earlier.
Yeah, and Starman stage doesn't even speed up significantly from other weapons. So it's just doubly, everything lines up for Starman first.
Yeah. We have Gravity Man here. A very unique mechanic in the classic series with the upside down ceiling sections. Be cool to see this used a little bit more often besides ROM hacks. But you have all the same mechanics upside down. Everything is flipped upside down. So you have to kind of be wary of the different enemies, like how you swap. Like if you slide into certain flippers, then it kind of jitters you for a second unless you jump into it or walk into it.
Yeah, the only mechanical difference is that you have to hold up to slide instead of down. So you have to be aware of that.
And then the scripted Gravity Man fight. One of the few completely no RNG boss fights in a lot of the classic Mega games.
This and Napalm, right?
Yeah, Napalm has no RNG either. It's all manipulatable. Gravity is always the same every time.
Right, no matter what you do as a player.
Yeah.
Just runs around the room in a big figure 8.
Yep.
Kind of.
Alright, we've got Gyroman here. This is going to be our first stage where we're utilizing a lot of the long arrow rides. There's one in Gravity, but we're going to be utilizing it a couple times here at the start of Gyro. The one thing that you'll notice the runners doing is they'll fire their arrow and then they'll walk off the edge and kind of get clipped back on. That's for ammo preservation. The arrow ammo drains while you're standing on arrow. So if you walk off the edge and then get clipped back onto it because it's moving so fast it catches you, you can save some extra ammo and utilize the 1 or 2 extra ticks that you get from that to go a little bit faster.
Ooh. Scarf kind of has a little bit of a sketchy letter grab set up there, but got through it okay.
Yeah, we've got 2 Ks, so we're through.
I guess while we're on the topic of letters, both these runners are running the beat route, where you grab sort of the secret letter from all 8 robot master stages, and that gives you access to beat as soon as you grab the 8th letter. And beat's a useful weapon for 3 of the boss fights in particular after the 8 robot master stages are over.
Yeah, beat's fairly powerful in this game. Hits most bosses, and only uses 2 ammo per attack. So you can utilize that fairly well against some of the later bosses.
Yeah, and he kind of auto attacks to some degree and pierces through a lot of like shields and projectiles. So, and he can also reach higher up enemies pretty well, which is really helpful in the last fight, the capsule fight. So that's the main reason to collect him, is to help with the last fight.
Yeah, it's technically a little bit faster to not collect beat, but then you're at the mercy of Wily Capsule giving you a good pattern. Oh,
Ooh,
we're gonna have a little bit of a sketchy crystal section here.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow. Okay. He doesn't know the semi-free backup from the... I think it's like the second pillar there. You can just fire another arrow and you'll be fine every time.
We've got...
But that was pretty cool.
Another one, yep. We got Scarf also doing... Star Crash as the backup.
Yeah.
That's a fairly safe backup. There can be a couple times where it looks really scary because you can eat one of the crystal drops with a Star Crash, and another one can drop immediately, but it doesn't have a hitbox for a little bit, so it's actually not as scary as it looks. Yeah, another reason that like the beatless route is a little faster is there's a skip in Crystal Man stage. We've seen a couple of our runners do it before in the tournament, where you can basically go from the first screen to the boss fight after a long delay. You skip the whole stage, so you don't get the letter, and you don't get the M tank that's towards the end of the stage as well. So you have to get a backup M tank in one of the later stages, either either Stone or Dark 2 at the start.
So Chrissy's maintaining a, I don't know, 20-second lead or so. I think they're both a little bit behind PB pace, but they're both playing pretty solid right now and limiting their mistakes to, you know, not deaths so far.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, get away from the tiger.
Yeah.
These tigers do a ton of damage.
Gonna take a lot of damage here at the start of the palm.
I think Chrissy will be using gravity later, so it should be okay if he doesn't take more damage.
Yeah, gravity is the slightly safer route towards the end of the stage.
Yeah, the fastest way to use Crystal early is, you know, requires a damage boost off of a missile, which I think do 6 damage, so he doesn't want to do that right now. This requires a damage boost off a Met cannon. I think they only do like 3. So saving a little bit there.
Yeah. I think
In the danger zone though.
Yeah.
This is 1 hit KO health range for Napalm.
from several enemies as well.
Yeah.
I think the missiles do 2 here.
They do 1.
They do 1, okay.
Yeah. I guess the developers had mercy on you for surprising you with them.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just have them do 1. But they will knock you in a pit. Ooh.
Alright. Alright. Made it through alright.
Sure did. I think Scarf had a much more... his stage went much more to plan, looks like.
Yep.
So he probably caught up a little bit there. Oh, and I just saw your message, Coops. Hello. You said hello to us earlier.
Hello.
I don't want to be rude.
I always like watching people's napalm fights. It's very personable. There's a lot of different ways to get to the same result.
Yeah, if you watch runners such as myself, Kapat, will just slide for almost the entire fight, and I don't slide at all. And we end up with a similar time kill, so it's really cool to watch how people approach it.
Yep.
Here's where I think the run starts to move into the harder stage category. Or like the higher variant stages.
Mm-hmm.
Stoneman is a good 20 to 30 seconds longer than a lot of the other robot master stages. Has a lot of platforming, a lot of small enemies to avoid. So a lot of things can go wrong here.
We got a squeaks kill.
That's one.
Yeah, the stone is very long, and you can end up taking quite a bit of damage from a lot of enemies if you approach things just wrong. Like, you can avoid enemies fairly decently, but like there's a lot of ways where you can take extra damage without meaning to, and those can all chain together, leaving you at pretty low health for the last couple screens. Fortunately, Stoneman himself isn't too difficult, but can always just look a little bit sketchy if you're coming into the last couple screens with like 4 HP.
Chrissy showing off how much he dislikes land mets by just blasting them into smithereens. Oh, that was a good reaction by Scarf there. He missed his rush jet jump and rode the platforms instead.
Yep.
I think it's actually faster to just pause and resummon rush, but if you already missed the rush jet jump once, sometimes coming out of a pause, finding the timing can be a little bit tricky. This is as good a time as any to talk about rush jet jumps. So when you hit B, when you're on rush jet, rush will start coming down from the top of the screen, and then he'll stop when he reaches Mega Man's approximate vertical position. So if you're really low on the screen, it's going to take rush quite a while to get down to you. If you're really high on the screen, he'll pretty much spawn instantly. So you kind of have to vary your shot and jump timings to make sure that you land on rush jet in like a single jump. And that cave where Scarf missed his jump is one of like the lowest positions you can be in. So you have to wait a long time, for this game, not for like Mega Man 4 standard or something, to jump after you summon rush there. So you'll see them do rush jet jumps throughout the run, and just know that they're trying to vary their timing a little bit to make sure that they land up on him.
We're in one of the best rooms of the game, Chicken Room. Very often dedicated to someone. Ooh, went for the risky slide jump letter collect.
Yeah, I think Chrissy always does that.
That's
now that I
interesting.
think about it.
It's so based off of the way that Mega Man's hitbox changes when you're in a slide and jump out of it, and the way that the train when you're in the chicken room oscillates up and down slightly. The letter collection can be impossible to get if you do a slide jump at the wrong time. So
most runners don't go for it, basically, for that reason. Yeah, it's pretty subtle, but you jump just a little bit lower out of a slide animation than you do out of a standing animation. Chargeman here, you can sort of manipulate the direction he goes, but he has a couple different attacks he'll do after, I don't know. He walks around for a little bit, and then he can choose to shoot Cole and get mad, like we say, or be happy and charge at you.
I actually think the be mad pattern is the better pattern.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to...
The Cole shooting thing is a lot easier to handle. You have a lot of time to react to it and get in position.
Yeah.
For the next cycle. So you see them in that fight, using Power Stone and then immediately pausing to despawn Power Stone because it takes a long time to leave the screen on its own. You can fire shots in such a way that they'll all hit Chargeman, all three of them, but those are pretty specific, and usually only advanced runners are going for that. So the next best thing to do is just to pause and despawn them.
Yeah, and it's fortunate that we get Chargeman's weapon here for Wave, because you can just kick right through all the things to get through the first couple screens.
There's one
arrow left. Yeah. All right, so no boat skip from Chrissy, but we did get the double bubble.
No, Scarf just doesn't even go for the first screen bubble skip, it looks like. Or doesn't want to in this run, at least.
Yeah.
Or the second run. Not a terrible race strat.
Yeah, it's a race there to just ride him up. You can still get across here a little bit faster with the arrow on the third screen, and then see if he sets up the boat skip. Makes it through.
He does.
So for boat skip, you can skip the boat by sliding past the trigger that would normally move you into the cutscene, that would jump you into the boat. And as long as you're either in the air or sliding, but when you hit the screen transition, it won't start the cutscene that locks you into just moving right and jumping into the boat. So there is a chance to soft lock if you do the boat skip incorrectly. I think it's like 1.5 seconds faster to do boat skip. Mostly
from that screen Chrissy was just on.
Yeah. You can get a little bit faster Octodad fights with the charge shot at the start, but it's mostly just from the final screen walk animation.
All right, 1936. 8 robos for Chrissy. I think they got all their beat letters. I didn't check, but...
Scarf definitely did. I just saw him get the EO.
Yeah, of the two big tricks in Waveman stage, the double bubble skip saves quite a bit more than the boat skip.
Yeah.
But it's also quite a bit harder to execute than the boat skip. Scarf needs to be careful.
Scarf's in danger. He's gonna E-tank. Okay.
That's a good call. Yeah. He has 3 hits left, and Waveman can be hard to avoid if you're not used to the fight.
Yeah, occasionally he'll just put his wave on top of himself, and you're basically always going to take damage in that way.
I think you can move in such a way to avoid that from happening, but in the heat of the moment, it's kind of hard to do. The fight's already going wrong. Yeah, so both runners are playing pretty solid, I'd say, overall. No deaths. Some shaky moments, but that's to be expected.
Yep.
And Chrissy's opened up a pretty good lead here. He's about halfway through this stage by the time Scarf starts in, so probably about a minute. Stage is about 2 minutes long.
Yeah, Dark 1 is a very tricky stage. A lot of cool movements that you can do in it. But a lot of ways to either have backups or do them slightly differently that aren't too much slower. While still,
yeah, there's even like a bunch of lag management kills and stuff that a lot of people just skip.
Yeah. And then Dark 1 fight where just try to manipulate him to shoot away from you and then get some of the wave shots in. Wave does eat his bullets, so you can just shoot from the ground at him and have it rush to jump, classic. Have it eat the shot and then hit him, but can be a little bit sketchier because he does move closer to you during that time frame because he moves when his bullet leaves the screen. So eating it with the wave causes him to move a little bit sooner.
Ooh, Scarf's just going all out and shooting as fast as he can. If you do that, you won't stun lock the Dark 1 boss. You need to kind of wait a little bit between shots and not have like perfect iframe coverage if you want him to just stay still. You have to hit him after he starts moving to stun him, essentially.
Dark 2's fairly straightforward. There's a couple of tricky spots in it. Mostly the conveyor screen, where you want to make sure that you don't slide in a way that gets you stuck under the conveyor, so you can't jump out of it, and then avoiding the hits.
Yeah, there's a lot of high damage enemies too that can mess you up if you kind of screw up your movement on any of the screens. The Crystal Joe screen that Scarf's coming up on there. These crystals do like 8 damage or something crazy. And here's
we got our
Beat's
first
first
Beat
appearance.
Fight. Yep. So Beat attacks when he gets back to behind Mega Man's shoulder, and he's not moving either horizontally or vertically. So there's some manipulation that you want to do with Beat where you kind of catch him either when you're standing still on the ground or when you're at the peak of your jump, in order to get him to start attacking again right away.
Yeah, and he can attack while you're walking too, but if you kind of turn around so that your back shoulder's facing the other direction, you can get Beat into you can kind of prevent him from locking into his docked position behind your shoulder and delay your hits there. Ooh. Chrissy messed up this room a little bit and just decided to reload the room as a backup.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That was
really,
almost a really cool backup.
Yeah.
Saving his arrow. Makes sense.
Yeah, arrow ammo is typically routed quite strictly, especially in the castle stages. You don't get free refills at the end of stages, and the arrow can save you a lot of time on a lot of these screens, especially this stage here. There's some big open air screens where you can just fly over like half of it or all of it. Chrissy's going for the strat that flies over this whole screen here. Really simplifies the room and speeds it up significantly.
Yeah. Got our first M-Tank use. To refill arrow so we can do it again.
Yeah. Turns out the arrow is so
no.
useful on this stage. Oh, Scarf took a death in the first Met room.
Yeah, it looks like he cut his jump a little short. I think that was before using the main part of his arrow ammo, so
yeah,
should still have enough to do that fly and the second fly if he wants to.
Yeah, you can always jump off the arrow in this next room early if you want to save some ammo. But he hasn't used any. So he definitely has enough. Okay. So Chrissy and Scarf both kind of went for a conservative room there, shooting the arrow a little bit later.
I think Chrissy opted to jump off of his arrow because it was lowish. He was worried about getting hit by the Met.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it was low for sure. Well, the Widowmaker strikes in this run.
Yeah.
That's our colloquial name as a community for Dark 3.
Yep.
This is Papat's favorite stage right here.
It's a great stage.
You know, I think the more experience I get with the game, the more I agree with you. It actually is pretty fun once you know what you're doing. It's awkward though. You have to clear the blocks out. There's kind of some cycles going on. Like after you clear the bottommost block, the screen will start shaking, and then the whole screen will drop. And you can clear some blocks in the meantime while the screen's shaking. But then there's like one main quirk with it. It's that while I think on the frame one of those blocks explodes, you can't. The game will not register an input from you. So if you try to fire another shot or jump during that frame, you can get into trouble.
Alright, Chrissy needing to use his E-Tank for Dark 4.
Yes.
Smart decision there. Scarf opted for the slightly safer high arrow on the last screen of Dark 3. You have to wait out at the end a little bit, but you don't have to slide underneath one of the enemies. He's gonna die! You gotta go up if you break that block.
You can save that with the slide, but it's very tight.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Primal Tower.
At least that was pretty early on in the tower.
Yeah.
And not in the fight or something. If you die in this fight, you get set back down to the bottom of the tower. So you definitely don't want to die here.
Yep.
That's like a minute death. Maybe not quite, but pretty close.
Well,
if you're far along in the fight and you don't have the beat ammo.
Yeah, no ammo is the big deal. You have to do either Buster as a backup or Stone is the other weakness, Power Stone, which is really awkward. Power Stone does, I think it does 2.
Yeah. Don't ask me why I know that. So off the top of my head, it's not like I may have had to use that in a run last night.
Alright. Scarf's through.
So the castle stages in general are a pretty decent ramp up in difficulty and kind of how punishing some of the mistakes can be, and it just continues right on into the Wily stages here. A lot of pits, a lot of instant death traps. You have this crusher room that Kaiserkrister is going into, where some you don't have to be fast with mashing, but you have to be purposeful with where you start and stop mashing to sort of catch the fastest cycle here. And Chrissy just opted to
wait the one extra cycle, which is totally fine.
I think it was 2, but one on the second Met Cannon and one at the end there.
Oh, okay.
He just going for
right underneath. Yeah. Right underneath the lyric there.
That was pretty scary. It is safe if you're confident in your movement, so maybe he has a lot of practice with that.
Yeah, and
here's Chrissy's personal fight. Oh, didn't quite
fired
get it
the wrong way. There we go. Did the backup. Yeah, fight that he developed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not very much slower than the most optimal way to do the fight, and it's a lot more consistent, like with hitting the crystal like just directly into his face. So
yeah, and you'll save either 6 or 10 damage depending on how you do the optimal fight. If you touch Big Pet's head, it's 10 damage. So that was the main motivation for Chrissy, was to figure out a way to save some health in that fight.
Yeah.
And the optimal fight is a lot harder too, just to execute in general. So here's where the real underwater physics are in the game, Dark 2. So like the jump speed, the gravity is similar to Starman stage, but you can't jump out of a slide animation here. So you'd have to cancel your slide by turning around, or you have to wait for your slide to finish completely before you can jump. So you'll see the runners, maybe their movement looks a little bit awkward there. That's why.
Yeah, it's awkward on purpose. Oh. I didn't see exactly where Scarf died. Oh, he's gonna go for the jet backup. This is
Did he die was he in the chicken room? Or was he in the last room there? I just caught the end of it too.
I saw him get through the chicken room, so he must have died in the last screen. He had plenty of health going into the chicken room.
Okay. Yeah, he must have died in the spikes in the last screen. That is not an uncommon death, unfortunately, and it's pretty costly. Having to redo the conveyor room without arrow costs quite a bit of time, and then the crusher takes quite a while here.
Yeah. Yeah, the conveyor screen is very laggy. Having arrow just to get by. Ugh, Chrissy! Frickin' Q9, dude. This is the worst boss of all time.
Only one of 2 commentators here has that opinion. We'll let you guess who. Oh, he gets the super good pattern. Or one of the super good patterns on the second try.
There we go. The only pattern that's acceptable from Q9 to see. All the other ones are trash.
So the reason that some people don't like that fight, at least what I think, is that there's an RNG component to the fight, and gyro attack is a little bit awkward to work with. You have to prevent doing a vertical input while gyro attack is flying, or else you're going to send the gyro attack off the screen up or down, and you almost certainly won't hit your target. Mm-hmm. And you can't fire another one until the first one's off screen. You can't change the direction once you choose the vertical direction either, so you're just kind of stuck when that happens.
So we're going into refights here. You notice that Chrissy is fighting Napalm and not the top right boss. It's because we're gonna do a skip. We're not gonna fight all the refights here. Set up position with the arrows. I think the first arrow was kind of high.
Yeah, this one's high too. There, that's good.
That one should work.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't slide left.
Yes. So you have to get all the way to the wall and slide to the left. Oh no.
Yeah, what? He pressed right too soon? Nope. Okay. That's
too high.
That's too high. It's not gonna work.
Oh,
Okay.
it
still
did work. Shows us what we know.
I didn't think that one was gonna work, but
All right. Even
Made
with
it through.
all of that, that still saves a ton of time over doing all the rest of the 7 fights.
Yep.
An optimal skip will save you about 2 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, and there's a couple ways to do the skip. There's either the 2 arrow or the 1 arrow setup. The 2 arrow is a lot easier to do. You just get on the arrow, slide left, and then press right, like up against the wall. The 1 arrow setup is you have to time your turnaround in order to get pushed through.
Yeah, I think you slide left and you have to press right 2 frames later, something like that, to get it. So it's pretty specific and it's a pretty quick input. So the 2 arrow strat that Chrissy was going for is supposed to be quite a bit easier, but I think maybe nerves just got the better of him there.
Yeah, it looked like the one that we both saw was the correct position. I think he pressed right 1 frame later, and I think that one doesn't work even with the
correct. You have to wait for your slide to move at least 1 frame to the left before hitting right. So he did like an instant turnaround. Chrissy's on to the last stage here. He's having to use Buster here instead of the weakness, which is Super Arrow, because he used so much Super Arrow ammo to get through the refight skip earlier. But it's not too bad. Okay, he does have 1 E-Tank left too, so he should be pretty safe here, as long as he plays it pretty smart.
Yep.
So you need all of your beat ammo to deal all 28 damage to Wily Capsule here. If you kind of deploy beat too early after the first hit here, you can go for 2 hits per cycle. Beat can sometimes end up consuming ammo but not doing any damage. So that's the outcome that you want to avoid the most in this fight. Because then you'll be forced to menu at the end and switch to either Gyro Attack, which does 1 damage per hit, or hope for a low spawn so that you can use Charge Buster, which will do 3 damage a hit. And GG.
All right. We have GG. Pretty good fight overall. Saw a couple of the extra 2.5 tracks for it.
Yes. That was solid. It seems that Chrissy is quite nervous, so hopefully getting a race under his belt will help calm him down a little bit. Scarf has plenty of arrow here.
Getting through the first one for me, in sort of a extended marathon or race setting, getting through the first one helps me to just calm down a little bit more.
Yeah, this game can really get away from you if your brain's going a little bit fast or something, start messing up your timings. There's a lot of easy ways to lose runs or lose a lot of time, so.
Nice catch there.
That was a nice catch. So I think on that spawn there, it's impossible to get two full hits on there. So sometimes your runners talk about half hits or full hits. So full hit is like Beat doing both halves of his motion, the deployment and the return to Mega Man, or the return and then the deployment. And you want him to do 2 full hits per cycle, ideally. You can do 2.5 hits per cycle.
Yeah, the 2 hits and a track.
Yeah, 2 hits and a track. Yeah, it requires B to start at your shoulder, and you get a favorable spawn. GG.
GG. Solid runs. Definitely a couple things that they both can look at and say, hey, I can do that better this next time, and we can get that going and maybe get ourselves a race 3.
Yeah. Just checking out the things they're saying in the race channel here. Scarf is just lamenting his final room of Wily 1. So that is where he died for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good one. That's on the order of like a minute if you're not really fast with getting back there and you don't know how to sort of navigate the conveyor room. All right, so hang in there while our racers get set up with a new race channel, and maybe they need to take a little bit of break before they start the next race.
That rematch doesn't work. Oh. Helpful coil. Nice.
Yeah, what is with the race time room names here? Last one was Invincible Capsule. Does it know about Mega Man 5? And this one's Helpful Coil?
It has to. I assume it has to know.
Did someone put in a bunch of meme words to add this as a category to race time? It's pretty funny. All right, at least one of our runners wants a break here, so.
Take a short intermission, everyone, to stretch, get a drink, stay hydrated.
Oh yeah, good idea. I have 2 liters of water here, just calling my name here. Just want to talk about the tournament that we're in a little bit here. So this is I guess we can call it the round of 8, right?
Yeah.
This is the first race in the round of 8. All of the runners managed to get everything scheduled this weekend. So we have some more races coming up in the next couple days here to finish out the round of 8 all this weekend. That's pretty nice. I don't think the other races have channels yet, but stay tuned for that. It'll be on some SpeedGaming channels. We have another race coming up tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern. Tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Sorry, 12:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, there's a race at 10 p.m. Eastern. So Mega Man 5 action-packed weekend.
Yeah, you got the next race coming up tomorrow. Versus you and Primal. Should be a good one. And
theoretically, we're very evenly matched, but he's a very good gamer, so I'm definitely scared.
Yeah. Yep, and then the match later in the day, the 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's Mellow versus Farrell. Should be another pretty good one. I know Mellow's been doing a lot of good work in 5. Farrell recently got his 33. And Mellow's been like asking like why I do certain things. So I know he's looking into improving himself. So should be a good match there too.
Yeah, that's a high 34 versus a high 33 matchup there. And then you're on the Sunday race versus Resisting Frame. I think you're a pretty heavy favorite there, but you never know.
Yeah,
Resisting Frame's pretty new to the game. So.
He's a little newer. He's very good. I did see him play Mega Man 6 either yesterday or the day before, so we'll see what he's been working on. I think he has a marathon that he's prepping for that, so makes sense.
Ooh. Burning the candle at both ends.
Yep.
I think we're just waiting for last racer to ready up, and we should be starting pretty soon here. Here we go. Scarf with his little aesthetic display of password screen there. Blue border. All right, I think they should be starting. Maybe? Here we go.
And we're off. Yep. There's one thing. Yeah, there's one thing that you have to be wary about before starting any Mega Man 5 race. You want to make sure that you don't let the Proto Man cutscene at the start go through to where he grabs Dr. Light and takes him off screen. If he does, then there's an arrow glitch that happens that you're not able to ride the second arrow on the screen. You have to or you're not able to bump off the edge of it. It makes you fall off instead. So most runners will start the race timer, reset, and then get to the title screen to go through.
Yeah, luckily the race chats that the race services we're using have like a 15-second countdown, so it's enough time to get you reset off and get ready.
Yeah.
At the game start screen. Both runners taking it pretty easy in Starman again, avoiding a death, so that's got to feel good again.
Yep.
Stage is always terrifying in a race setting. The physics are weird, kind of like what Papat was mentioning in the first race, and it's a pretty hard stage depending on what strats you go for. One of the harder robot master fights too to optimize, I think.
Yeah, sometimes he'll give you an easy pattern where we got a grab skip versus no grab skip. So Chrissy started his jump up a little bit quicker. He ended the fight a little bit sooner than Scarf did. But because he got the low gravity physics at the end of the fight, Scarf managed to just teleport out ahead of him, based off of the no grav.
Yeah, what is that? It's like a 1.5 second swing, something like that.
Yeah, it's like 2 seconds between grav skip, no grav skip.
Yeah, way back in the day, in the dark ages of this game, it was just a luck-based thing. then I can't remember who exactly, but someone found out that certain sized jumps will give you favorable, either better. It seemed like it was giving that person better luck, and then someone looked into it further and found that if you do I think a 1-frame jump or a 3-frame jump, you'll get the faster gravity every time.
I think from what I recall of it, a 1-frame jump is guaranteed to work to get grav skip. A 2-frame jump is like a 2/3 chance. A 3-frame jump doesn't work at all, and then like a 4-frame jump, if you do jump that high, is like
it
a
the 3-frame jump? Okay.
I thought it was the 3-frame that didn't work at all, and then the 4-frame was the guaranteed again or something.
Yeah, the chances without doing a jump is 1/3. So overall, you're better off just trying to mash out a bunch of small jumps and hope you get one of the favorable jump sizes.
Yep.
You'll end up with a higher success rate than if you don't try at all. All right, so Chrissy regained his lead in that stage by just a smidge.
Pretty good through 2 stages. 2 very difficult starting stages for Classic Mega, to be totally on it. Earn gravity back to back is there's a lot of resets in PB attempts in those stages just because they are so difficult.
Yeah, then you get kind of a cream puff stage here with Gyro where there's not a ton going on. It's mostly hit your arrow rides and don't miss some jumps or something type of thing. Don't die on the litter grab.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, these guys are just exchanging the lead back and forth. That latest,
very close.
Latest lead change is just due to slightly better strat from Chrissy, where he shoots the arrow earlier.
Yeah, the previous. Oh, they're back in sync. Yeah, previous one was they do the same thing here.
All right, they ruined it. That was amazing, though.
Yeah. Both land at the same spot, both jump, land, and get the arrow the same way. Or the letter the same way.
Now they just have to rub it in and go different ways on the elevator, too.
Yep.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting if both players are playing well. Is that Chrissy would just be a little bit faster on average, but pretty evenly matched overall. So you saw both of them slide right there, right when the boss died. I think you don't want to do that. The boss kill position in this game, there's like an optimal position to kill the bosses in. You want to kill them as close to the corner of the room as possible to despawn their explosion bubbles from the screen as early as possible, because they'll lag the game quite a bit. And if you're moving around while the game is lagging, you'll lag the game even more. So you kind of want to kill the boss close to the corners you can, stay still until most of the bubbles are off screen, and then it's safe to move to the center of the room and position yourself for the fanfare.
We'll see if they're able to get their arrows on the screen this time, since they both failed it last time. Oh. Scarf had it, but
must have been holding right.
Yeah, if you do slides there, like you have to let go of right while you're doing those slides underneath the ceiling, or it pushes you off. You just get squished through the arrow, essentially.
Yeah, okay. You don't like clip back onto the arrow because you move right too far when you clip off of it, and yeah, the arrow can't catch up to you. Well, Scarf seems pretty experienced with that star backup, so
Yep.
he must have. This must not be his first rodeo.
Yeah. Nice no drops from any of the slider enemies on the end of Chrissy's screen.
Yeah, these 4 slider guys can either go really easy or be really difficult if you get a bunch of health or ammo refills there. So just totally mess up your rhythm. And the small ones are pretty hard to react to. They last about 8 frames if they're filling up 2 ticks of health or ammo, and that's like just enough to screw you up, and not long enough for you to be able to like reset and like start your movement over again.
Yeah. Hard to react to.
The average gamer.
Yeah.
That reason alone makes it a really hard stage to get if you're hunting for like a best split time there. You know, the last couple screens there can just say no, give you a bunch of drops, and you just won't have a chance. Did you lose comms? Hopefully not.
Are we still here?
Papat and I can hear each other. We're still on the restream channel.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Farrell. Good guy, Farrell. He creates practice hacks and he lets you know if he can hear you or not. Alright.
Oh, yeah. Scarf opted into some early crystal usage in Napalm. You can use that to kill some of the Met turrets a little bit easier, and then it only takes 1 shot to kill the spike driller enemies.
Yeah.
Which makes that screen feel a lot safer for sure, since if you don't kill them and you run into it, it's an instant death. So.
Yeah, we didn't talk about another subtle mechanic in this game is that all enemies have some invincibility frames. I think it's like 7 or 8 invincibility frames between shots, so you can't just mash enemies down. You have to have a rhythm to your mashing. And it's easy to, if you get a little bit off rhythm against those spike drillers. You know, they take 3 shots to kill, and usually you plan to just shoot 3 shots and start moving again. If you miss one of those shots, you're going to end up dead and back at the beginning of the stage. It's their 1-hit KO. That's just another reason why Charge Buster is so valuable in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't mash enemies down, being able to fire a charge shot and have it just pierce every enemy and kill them all instantly is pretty handy, since most enemies don't have more than 3 HP.
Stoneman is a stage where you'll see a lot of strat variants too. These like land mets, as we call them, killing them is pretty difficult because they'll spawn three baby mets when you shoot the big one. So there's a lot of ways around that. You can damage boost, you can jump over them, or you can try to fire 3 extra shots in such a way to kill all the baby mets, or fire 1 extra shot and try to like slide under the other ones. So you'll see a lot of like the runner's sort of personality and comfort level come out in this stage through the strats that they choose.
Yeah. Oh, we have a Squeaks live.
He lives, and in the worst way possible with the lag arrow.
Yep.
Oh.
That ladder is pretty deceptive because like you can jump above the screen and you're already on top of the ladder essentially. But if you climb it, you have to like climb for like a couple frames to actually have it register that you're at the top.
Yeah, typically you're going to see runners trying to jump off the top of a ladder because you can actually get off the ladder a little bit sooner and start moving horizontally right away if you do that. If you just climb to the top and walk off of it, I don't know. I think that loses maybe like 5 frames or something on that order over like a perfect ladder jump. But if you time your A press a little bit early, you won't jump, and then you might hit down because you're ready to slide, and then you'll do what Scarf did and end up climbing back down the ladder on accident.
Yep.
That was one happy stone.
We got angriest stone on Scarf's side. Unhappy. Alright. Going back into charge.
I think both of these runners are opting for some safer first room setups, sliding under the first enemy to conserve some arrow ammo. Not a bad call, doesn't lose that much time. Makes this next room a lot safer. You really want to fly over this top screen here.
Scarf going for...
Scarf went for the spicy one.
Yep.
Jumped off it a little bit early to guarantee that he had enough ammo.
Yep.
So, 2 different ways of conserving ammo there.
Right, let's see if Chrissy does this again. Yep. There it is. And the coil backup.
Yep. I've seen him do this coil backup before, so I think this is part of the plan. He goes yellow for the slide jump, and if he doesn't get it, he just uses coil to grab the letter and climb the ladder.
Very interesting backup.
Yeah, you can see on Scarf's screen that he just went for the standing jump and still missed it. So it's tight even if you're just trying to walk and jump and get it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why Chrissy just goes for that. It's probably the jump timing is easier with the slide jump.
Nice.
Ooh,
Mega
double
Man
5 reference. I think Chrissy's saying he's on PB pace here after this fight. Well, he got a corner kill, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like other lag sprites on screen, like the Power Stone, it's even more valuable to get those corner kills.
Yep.
Like Power Stone or Beat. Oh, come on, Scarf.
Scarf! There we go.
Okay. So Scarf doing what he can to keep pace here. He's definitely within striking distance of a mistake from Chrissy. Like some kind of death or maybe even a bubble skip failure. Which hopefully we won't see.
Yeah, bubble skip failure on the second or third screen towards the end could even this up pretty easily.
Yeah, depending on how you mess it up, it's like 15 to 20 seconds, so it's big.
If you mess it up on the third screen and you die in the spikes, then it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Okay.
It's pretty far to the left, but got it.
And then just
Yeah,
does the
using
one
charge
arrow.
kick to get through the those like steam vents, you know, that's valuable when you first start out the stage, and then you have all that arrow ammo that you're using to climb there. So if you die on the third screen, you've lost out on both of those ammo sources, and So just even getting back to that point is slower than your first try through the stage.
Yep.
So you really don't want to die on the bubble skip screens if you can help it. Scarf is... That's surely part of Scarf's strategy there, is to avoid falling, avoid dying, just... and not do the bubble skips.
Yep. Yeah, so Scarf opting out of bubble skip, Chrissy opting out of boat skip. So we get to see both just on different streams.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about bubble skip too much, but the reason it's hard is because for the small bubbles to transition you, you have to land pretty close to when you'd be transitioning through the screen if you were just standing on it. But they disappear pretty quickly too, so it's a pretty small window to land on it and trigger the screen transition up.
Yeah, if you
That's what makes it such a scary strat to go for.
If you land on it too early, it doesn't transition. And if you land on it too late, then you kind of clip at the top of the screen and it doesn't push you through either. It's a fairly small window overall for it. It's not like Mega Man 9.
It's a little bit bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not Mega Man 9, where it's like a billion frames.
Land on it, and as long as you're on it, but when it touches the top of the screen, you have a million years to transition.
So it looks like so far Chrissy has settled in after that first run. He's actually ahead of his PB at this point, so playing quite a bit better here. I think Scarf's gameplay is about on par with this first game, and hopefully he can keep that up and avoid the castle deaths that he got last run.
Yeah.
This first screen of the Dark One stage is really just a big welcome to the castles type of screen, where there's a lot going on and it's really hard, and you can take some deaths or a lot of damage on accident.
Yeah, a lot of different types of inputs on the first screen. Just kind of be like, hey, you know all those things that you learned about the previous stages? Let's put them all together right here.
Yeah, you have enemy iframe management, a lot of slide jumps. You can go for some really small window jumps, like a 2-frame window jump. Rush jet summons. You can slide under the tiger on rush jet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chrissy opting for some conservative jet jumps, kind of jumping twice there to make sure jet's in position. Scarf had to double summon to get over the spike pit, but that's fine.
Yeah. It's a nice solid backup there if you summon Rush a little low.
Yeah, I think alternatively, in this game you can slow down Rush if you hold, like the backwards direction. So you can actually hold like left and up there and get Rush quite a bit higher, and you can usually save it that way too. But what Scarf did is a lot safer. Ooh.
There we go. Second try.
Yeah, Scarf and rush jet jumps just aren't mixing well today.
They're very tricky for sure, especially because of all the different positions that you normally have rush jet from. Like you talked about before, where some are really low, and so it takes a little bit longer, and some are fairly high, so you kind of have to just be ready. Okay, that
was just a few frames from running out of iframes and dying there.
Yeah, I thought for sure that the moment he unpaused, he was gonna get hit.
Heads up play by Scarf there for sure.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of the newer runners to the game are a lot less shy about using E-tanks. They don't have a lot of pride or stubbornness with that, and more experienced runners are really reluctant to pull out the E-tanks and end up taking more like unwise deaths as a result.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true in my case, where I'll think, oh, I know how to get past this enemy without taking another hit. And then I don't.
A lot of different ways to do this final screen of Dark 2 here. In general, you want to clear out the tigers, though, or you can slide under a couple of them, too, if you want to.
Mm-hmm. These dropper enemies here on Scarf's screen are very annoying, because they, like, when the drop hits the ground, it splashes, and the splash still has a hitbox for a while, longer than you would think it should.
Yeah, it lingers for what feels like a full second, but I'm sure it's not. It just it's so long.
And like right as soon as it disappears, the next drop starts coming on screen. So you only have a fairly small window to get through between drops.
Yeah, it's kind of convenient that if you can plan your movement in such a way to get past.
Oh, okay.
That Apache Joe is coming.
I thought that was going to be the classic comboed off the ladder forever until you swap to gyro to kill him.
Man. Alright, Chrissy having a less adventurous Dark 3 so far. First couple screens. Yep. That was a little bit low, so he bailed. And that's fine.
Yeah, it looks like he has the backup pretty well set up for that.
Yeah, I think you can go for like that last Met Cannon. You can just kill it with a couple arrows. I find that to be pretty safe, but Kritzy doesn't seem to want to do that as part of his backup strat set here.
Oh.
Alright, good backup there too. This is kind of showing the difference between an experienced runner like Chrissy and maybe a newer runner, where Chrissy's probably made these mistakes before. He knows what to do, and he knows how to do it pretty quickly when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Although Scarf has already shown pretty good proficiency with backup strats, so he must be a pretty disciplined learner, and he must actually, you know, take note of valuable backups when he practices or does runs.
Yeah.
It's not always what you see with new runners. A lot of new runners just learn what to do when things go right and then are totally lost if it doesn't go to plan.
I've definitely been on that train myself several times. It's like, oh, if this goes perfectly, then I'm fine. Just placed his higher a little bit too high, so opting for the rush jet backup.
Yeah, the window for that isn't even very tight. You have a huge amount of space to place that, but I've seen that mistake from a few new runners who go for that strat. Yeah, it was too high to stand on, unfortunately.
Yep. It's not too bad to use rush jet as the backup there. It's annoying because of the lag from the snake, but you can kill a lot of the dropper enemies as they come on screen to help minimize that.
Yeah. It does lose a surprising amount, though, even though that is the backup you want to do for sure, but you're still losing like somewhere between like 7 and 10 seconds, depending on how you do it. Chrissy's just going for pretty conservative fight damage-wise here, dodging a lot of Darkman's attacks. You don't really have to do that if your fight goes to plan, but it can be wise to...
Okay.
Okay. So we're both watching Scarf and getting scared for him, but he made it through this time. Yeah, in a race setting, maybe you don't want to go for that, and you want to jump over some of the shields and stuff like that to give yourself a buffer.
Yeah, just give yourself a little bit of extra health just in case something goes off. No rush summon at the start. Interesting. Or beat summon.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the newer runners in this tournament going for... Newer runners mean like newer to the game. Going for like a lemon opener. I'm not sure where they're picking that up from, if it's just instinctual to try for that, or if they learned it from something.
Yeah, the lemon opener is not very common, even on high-end runs, so...
Yes,
Always
I have been
interesting to
going
see.
for that in my runs, and I found it to be quite inconsistent. So it's not too surprising that most people just don't even try it. The fight can go really badly, and you can lose the damage race to Dark 4 if you don't do the opener correctly. Who's winning? Kaiserkrister is in the lead right now.
About half a stage, a little over half a stage, I think, based on this cutscene.
Pretty healthy lead. There are still some very punishing deaths left in the run, though, so anything could happen. And even the last fight can go really off the rails if things go really wrong, and you can lose a lot of time there.
Yep. Getting through. Oh, yeah, one extra cycle here on the Crusher.
Yeah, that's not too bad. It's about 2 seconds per cycle.
See if he does the. That's what I was worried about.
That's why a lot of us kill those lyrics instead. Those little satellite enemies up there, so you don't have to get so cute with that jump. That didn't exactly even up the race, but it's close. Scarf's struggling a little bit with ladders again, so kind of lost some opportunity to catch up there, but still caught up quite a bit here.
Yeah, remove ladders. Trademark.
Yeah, that's kind of how the end of this run can go. There's just a lot of places to die in the castles. You've seen that last screen get both runners now, too.
Yep.
Got the medium speed chicken jump where you get hit by the third egg there. Alright, he's just gonna damage boost through this time. His health is pretty low, but it may be okay for the fight he goes for.
I'm just gonna E-tank right away.
Yeah. I think Chrissy's version of the fight only takes 8 damage. That's 12, the way he just did it there. So he took 3 zips there.
Mm-hmm.
So you see them zipping up there. It's very easy to activate that zip. You just need to be standing next to that bottom segment when it first deploys, and you'll zip right up there if the top segment is like fully docked.
Yep.
If you panic and you're in iframes, you won't zip. So you do need to make sure you can take damage right away. Okay.
Opting not to collect the tank there at the start of the water.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm assuming he still has at least one.
Well, did he get the one at the start of Wily 1?
Oh, he used it though. Oh, he could have had 2 though.
Yeah.
Right, from Crystal and Wily 1. I think he did get the one at the start of Wily 1. I vaguely recall seeing that movement. Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, the end of Wily 1 death, or Wily 2 screen 1 death. Very classic. If you get hit by any of the Metroid enemies, you want to make sure that you don't hold left too soon.
Oh, did Scarf just have a death that we missed?
Yeah, it was the end of the first screen.
Oh, end of the first screen, sorry. I thought you said end of the last screen on Wily 1. I was like, what? How did I miss that?
No, yeah, sorry. Into the first screen on Wily 2. I think I might have said Wily 1 on accident because I was thinking of screen 1, so I had the number 1 in my head.
Yeah, ooh, nice opener from Chrissy. On the best boss in the game. But yeah, that death is pretty easy to take. That is pretty tight.
It's very tight, and if you're missing any health at all, that last Metroid will always give you health. Guaranteed. 100% of the time. He likes to make sure that you die by pressing left too soon.
Yeah, just hold right.
Just hold right.
Don't try to cut around the corner like that. It's just gonna end up bad for you.
Nice opener from Scarf. He's gonna get a 2-cycle because the just slightly mistimed his hit.
Oh, calm down.
He's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he had 1 hit to take, but I thought he might take another one. But he ended up being just fine.
A little bit of gonna do a crystal there.
Yep. Crystal will bounce around for a long time on screen if you just let it. Let's see how this refight skip goes. There we go.
Right. Much easier.
That's what you expect to see out of a two arrow setup generally.
This is not gonna work.
Nope.
Good try.
So Chrissy's going for an opening double hit there. You need to pause generally on the way up on your jump or at the peak of your jump if you want a chance of doing damage. Kind of depends on your jump timing, but that's how most people set it up.
Yep. Looks like he just goes for the opening double, doesn't go for any of the doubles on sevens.
It's interesting.
I would say learning the sevens.
Opposite.
Yeah, learning the seven doubles is easier than the opening double, just because of you can predict the 7. You have to kind of anticipate the different openings for the opening double.
Yes, exactly. Baron does have a really good video for the opening double thing, though, so
yeah,
help you figure it out if you're struggling with it.
Oh, the tink, the press hitbox, Star Crash is a fairly large weapon in general, and the tinkable hitbox of Wily is very large.
Yeah.
So it can be really frustrating sometimes when you fire your Star Crash and it just tinks off of him. It's like, I fired it at the right height! I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you have to be pretty close to the peak of your jump, and then the way the room moves can kind of mess with your jump height a little bit too, so it's pretty easy to tank. Alright. Chrissy deployed his E-Tank and is into the last fight here. Should be home free if things go according to plan here. Kaiserkrister is winning. Foster J.
E-Tank? Okay.
Whew.
A little bit scared about that ball there.
Scarf just has the perfect timing for E-Tanks. He waits till the last possible moment
Yeah.
to deploy them. Alright. One more cycle after this one for Chrissy. Yeah. Should be in there. GG.
GG.
38:04.
Nice solid run.
Yeah. Less than a minute and a half from your PB is always a good time and good race time in this game.
Yep.
And Scarf is going to come in at under a minute from his PB. So that was a good run from him, too. Oh, I spoke too soon, almost.
One last cycle.
What are you doing?
What are you
I
doing?
see. He's memeing on us.
You can't hit him with Power Stone in this version. You have to be playing Destination.
Oh man. What a memer. GG to Scarf.
GG. Good runs from
All
our racers.
right. Yeah, congrats to both racers. Those were some good races. Chrissy managed to maintain a pretty steady lead through both races, but they were within striking distance for either runner for a mistake to change the lead.
Yep.
I think it was pretty close through the whole thing.
Hello, Chrissy.
Welcome, Chrissy.
Hello.
Kaiserkrister is joining us for a post-match interview.
I think that was more invading, but we can say joining. It's fine.
Just invited himself, but that's fine.
So, how'd you feel about your runs?
To be completely honest, the first one was a complete train wreck. I feel, but the second one was the one that hurt the most. I was almost 8 seconds ahead, and then I, you guys saw that jump in while you won.
Yeah, when you did that jump in the first race, I actually got kind of nervous for it, and so I was looking for it again this time. I'm like, okay, just don't jump too small, and then you jump too small.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually do that in all my attempts. It's probably very, very scary.
You might want to workshop that strat, because that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I think in both races, Papa and I had a kind of a bit of a heart flutter watching that.
Yeah, I got really scared the first time.
Basically just you basically just go up the ladder, and then instead of sliding, you just walk over there, and then you can do a tiny jump. It's a thing you get a feeling for, and then you just walk under the, what is it called? The flying thing.
The lyric.
And then you shoot them. Yeah, and it goes in perfect there, and then you just slide under. I've just been doing that forever. It's like, oh, okay, this looks fast. Let's do this. Yeah.
I don't see Scarf in this Discord, so I'm not sure how to invite him, but we'll see if we can get him in here. Might need some help. I thought there used to be a commentator control to invite him, but oh well. I'm not sure.
I thought it was an automatic thing once the.
Yeah, we can have the person who set up this race has to invite them, because I don't remember my password to log in to get it.
Oh well.
So
if you're out there, Scarf, listening, let us know if you want to join.
We'll fix that. But yeah, it was. I'm so salty about that second run. But as fast as said, PB soon. Never give up.
Never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. Okay. Looks like he can't join for post-game interview.
All right.
That's fine.
You guys have any other questions for me?
I was gonna have an inappropriate one, but I'll abstain from that.
Wow.
I just want to say, I thought you played quite well, despite the nerves, and then there was a death in both runs, but I think you played pretty well. Scarf gave it his all too, and
Yeah, he made
was
me
kind of
really
right there
nervous
with
through
you.
the whole
But
thing.
what's that?
Oh, he made me nervous through the whole thing. He did amazing.
Yeah, he
You
was
guys should definitely
lurking
give him a follow,
somewhere
by the
around
way.
half stage behind for most of the first and second race. Yeah, for a newcomer to the game, for this tournament to come and challenge a veteran such as yourself I think is really cool, and it's a good outcome of the tournament for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very.
it's a lot of fun. New people pick up the game as well, because sometimes this game lacks some active runners.
Yeah, classic Mega goes through phases where sometimes there'll be a lot of people running the same game at the same time, and then it kind of dies down for a while, where there'll be like one or two people, and then there's a surge again. Usually with tournament stuff, we get a little bit of a surge. It's always nice to see a bunch of people come back and play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this has been a ton of fun to watch all these people learning the game and asking for help and just seeing what they bring into the table with their versions of strats and stuff like that. Super cool.
Ugh. Yeah.
So you are into the semifinals, Chrissy. I want to know how you're feeling about that. I mean, you did so. Just so the viewers know, our number one seed had to sort of forfeit the tournament due to some scheduling conflicts. That's Baron Haynes. So you kind of got like a free pass into the on this race. I think you would have been up against him on this race if you were racing him. So just want to know your thoughts on that stuff.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I think we're gonna postpone this tournament by like half a year, so I can like get a 33 or 34. You know.
Yeah, just postpone the ending of the tournament. No big deal. Everyone's already scheduled their matches. We'll make sure that we push the rest of the matches out to October.
But to be completely honest, I am horrified to meet either Papat or Primal. No wait,
It's either
you
me
or
or Primal.
Oh, he's not.
So, yeah,
he's
I'm
saying
getting
he's
ahead
not
of
scared of
myself.
you at all. He's saying that he's
Okay,
worried about
yeah.
Primal and not you. That's what
Yeah,
he's
I
saying.
get it. I'm gonna lose the next race. Papat's gonna make it into the finals. I get it. Okay. I'm real glad I asked that question now.
No. I should never have said anything. Help me, chat. Help me. Oh.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, we got a lot of good matches coming up. Looking forward to the next few and the future ones, the round of 4 finals. Should be good. Should be a lot of good.
Yes,
Yeah,
very much looking
while
forward to it.
While I'm actually on speaker here, I would like to tell everybody that's watching that tomorrow, I think. No, yeah, tomorrow we have 2 races. We have the race between Primal and Brett at 12:30 p.m. And we have Mellow versus Farrell Pigman at 9:30 p.m. So there will be a lot of Mega Man 5 action tomorrow. And on Sunday, we're going to watch 2 people play Mega Man 6 together, it looks like. No, we're going to watch Resisting Frame and Papat play against each other in this game. But yeah, there's a lot of Mega Man 5 left in this weekend, so definitely check that out and stuff. Are you guys okay and done now, or you guys want to say anything else?
I think I'm good.
I just want to say thank you to Papat for hopping on with me. I thought I was going to be doing this solo until about a half hour before the race started. So always nice to not have to carry the whole commentator load solo. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you for signing up and getting everything going so that when I decided to sign up, I wasn't doing it solo. So
No problem.
and thanks everybody who's here and watching. I hope you had a good time. I know I did.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Thanks for watching again, and bye bye.
See ya.